So guys, I got some great news for the community. We have just landed an interview with Patrick Riley from Reaper Financial, one of the main corporations that filed a amicus brief in the Ripple versus SEC case. And this is Fred Rispoli worked on this amicus brief. We're releasing this interview on Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's something you're not going to want to miss, guys. I am just so excited. The information in there is going to be absolutely amazing. And he has dropped some big bombshells that you're going to want to hear. So Wednesday at 7, you're going to want to be there and you're going to want to see it. All right. Can't wait to release it to you. Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Wow, it just smells so good out here this morning. Beautiful, like we've had it's just like it got a wash. And what I think's happened is we got a little bit of rain overnight, and of course you can see all the mistiness in the air there, but still, it just feels fresh and clean, and it is beautiful. Well, guys, I have one article for you this morning and one personal experience. And this one is kind of interesting to me. It really actually took me aback. So, as you guys know, I have been doing some one-on-one coaching. Well, how I've been invoicing for the coaching is through PayPal. Now, I have been both a PayPal customer and a PayPal merchant for multiple years, and have transferred thousands of dollars of business revenue through invoicing through PayPal. So needless to say, out of the absolute blue, without any notice, nothing whatsoever, I go into PayPal yesterday and I find out that they have locked up my account and limited it to something like, and this is the crazy part. So I get on there and I find out it was limited to $718.37 of transactional business that I could do in an entire month, if you can believe it. And that, that everything else beyond that, they were just going to hold it. And so I'm like, what on earth? So I phoned them up and I talked to them about this, and they tell me, well, we've set this policy in place since 2022, and the reason is to prevent, any kind of, fraud or people getting hurt. And I said, okay, I understand that there's a necessity to help prevent that. But why wouldn't you reach out to me and communicate with me that, beforehand that you were going to do that? And on top of that, if you look at my lengthy history, and the lady that I was speaking to said, yeah, I can see you have a long history with us. I said, has there ever been a time where as a purchaser that I never paid for a product? Oh, no, sir. I said, oh, okay. Now, has there ever been a time as a merchant that anybody has ever come back and registered or lodged any kind of complaint in all the multiple years that I've been dealing with PayPal, with you? Oh, no, sir. I said, so why on earth would you not reach out and communicate with me and say, hey, we need you to hold certain amount on your PayPal account just in case, you face a situation like this or this? Oh, well, sir, it's the AI that did it. The AI did it? What are you talking about? Oh, well, we have an automated accounts review system, and it just puts it in there. I said, okay, well, how do we get that resolved now that I'm talking to a person? Oh, there's really nothing we can do about it, sir. I'm like, are you serious? And so, basically, and then I end that call. I'm like, well, I guess if there's nothing you can do, what could you possibly do? So I end that call. And, about a half hour later, I go back in, because what I've decided, guys, is, hey, look, here's an organization that, just imagine, for you out there that are business owners, I've been a business, sole proprietor on various businesses over the years. But just imagine if you interacted with your clients that way, that you didn't even communicate with them. You gave them no notice, no nothing. And then all of a sudden, bang, you took an action that would really hurt their business, right? And imagine just how long you would stay in business if you did that. Now, for most of us, we look at treating the people that we work with as the paramount deal, right? And the reality is, they just don't care. They truly and honestly don't care. Now, look, if when you're little and small and you're the kind of, you're out there saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna, you're gonna be the best support and the best business. But then you get to a certain size and you're like, I don't give a crap. Well, as far as I'm concerned, what you're really revealing there is the character you have when you've made it, right, is the character you had back here. But what was going on over here was disingenuous because look, character defines behavior, right? I mean, I believe that we're supposed to care about our fellow man. So, hey, that affects how I treat somebody else. Now, God bless the people that were working for PayPal because those employees, those call center people were fantastic, and I give them a lot of credit. It's not them that made this ridiculous nonsense happen. They have to deal with it. And even for me, like, look, if you can imagine me frustrated, even then I was frustrated. But they handled it well. But the issue is this, the agency itself shows that we really don't care. We're not going to communicate with you. We're not going to even give you an opportunity to redress any kind of issues that you have. This is the way it is, and that's it. And I'm telling you guys, I am not using PayPal anymore. So when I went back in the second time after making that decision, based on all those factors I just gave you, I went in and, I canceled some pending invoices and reached out to those folks and said, hey, look, this is what's happened to me. And as a result, I'm not going to be using PayPal anymore. I went back in and I noticed now it wasn't $718.36 or 37 cents, somewhere in there. It wasn't that. They reduced it, guys, to $300 a month. Now you tell me what business, and by the way, this is a business PayPal account and has been for multiple years with a fantastic history. And so any case, what business out there could even survive only being able to utilize liquidity of $300 a month? Even your local kid that comes out and mows your lawns, if he had a PayPal account, it's going to be making more than $300 a month. Come on. And it just, to me, that demonstrated that, hey, they really don't want our business. They want to manipulate, they want to control, they want to use heavy-handedness. Now, having said that, the whole out of sight, out of mind thing, to me, this came as a big shock. So I went on YouTube, and I found out there are multiple people that have been in this fix. And in some cases, they're holding tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. And with seemingly impunity and with an I don't care kind of attitude. And I thought, PayPal needs to be called out for this because it is an abuse of the basically the business relationship that we have. PayPal is a money service business. They're not a police agency. They're not an enforcement agency. Yes, there is some due diligence that we all have to do to ensure against fraud and things like that. KYC, right? Know your customer, anti-money laundering, watch histories, all that kind of stuff. But no, what they've set their algorithm up to do is to monitor people's sales. So let's say you have 1 month, apparently, and you have a banger month for whatever reason. Everybody loves whatever product it is you're selling. They go in and they buy it like crazy. But the next month doesn't happen, and you have maybe less than half the sales you had the prior month. Well, according to what I've, seen and heard from a lot of people on YouTube is PayPal will come in and do this stuff and put these holds and limits on. So they literally are holding people hostage for legitimate business and legitimate money that they've earned in their business, and it's not PayPal's money. They're the custodian of it, but it is the revenue of the individual business. But this kind of heavy-handedness just shows you guys that, look, we can see what's coming down the road. Now, hey, this was my experience with PayPal, and I'm not once bitten, twice shy. I am not going back. Really, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, we're not talking about a significant amount, and, the way I look at it, they're not worth it. PayPal is not worth, other than to call them out for their very unprofessional and horrendous business practices as they deal with individuals. Oh, and having said that, just not too long ago, it was out in the news that PayPal was going to fine people for misinformation. And they were going to be the big granddaddy of us all, controlling the narrative out here of what people's opinions and thoughts and that's. And if PayPal deemed it was misinformation, well, they're going to come in and they're going to fine you. Well, for me, guys, that is just over the top. And I don't know if, and then by the way, they backpedaled from that position, right? So I'm calling them out, because that is the worst customer service that I can ever fathom, especially when you're dealing business to business. And how that's my view. Now, if you've had an experience like that, or you know that someone does, drop that down in the comments there. Let's share this information. I'd like to know just how many other people with absolutely stellar track records are being stomped on by PayPal without any notice whatsoever. And when PayPal says, hey, we don't like what you're doing, or whatever their algorithm is coming up with, and some AI apparently doing it. So you let me know. Anyhow, so the second thing that I read an article today, and this comes out of the Bank of International Settlements, and it has to do with FX swaps. Now, apparently, there is $80 trillion of hidden debt. 80 trillion. Guys, the whole gross domestic product globally was something around 92, maybe 95 trillion last year. So 80 trillion of hidden debt. I'm telling you, that is a crisis waiting to happen. Now, more than likely, what took place there with these FX swaps is that as the dollar was climbing, a lot of these big movers of foreign exchange and monies and pension funds, by the way, are tagged into this. What ended up happening is they got stuck. They got trapped because the dollar whipped up so high and they got stuck in there. Well, $80 trillion, guys, that is enough to bring the global financial system to its absolute knees. And if this thing implodes, the whole wide world is in for one of the biggest collapses in the history of mankind. Now, having said that, it would not surprise me that if something really crazy goes on there behind the scenes in that basis, because we know that some of these Hedera Hashgraph and the XRP Ledger and have been eyed as tokenizing global debt. It would not surprise me if we saw something down the road. That's just my speculation on that. But the fact that the Bank of International Settlements is coming out there and reporting that there's 80 trillion, not billion, trillion dollars in hidden debt is unfathomable. You don't even have to think about whether Tether went down and how that would affect this space. Guys, $80 trillion in debt is enough to collapse the global economy and literally send the whole wide world back into the dark ages. I'm not kidding. It's that bad. Anyway, let's end on a positive note. God is always good. And the fact of the matter is, there's so much to be thankful for. We woke up this morning, we breathed fresh air. I mean, look, one of the most uncontrollables we have is this. We all hope to wake up in the morning, but we all go to sleep at night. Now, when we're sleeping, one of the most uncontrollable situations that we face, and we do it every single day. So believe it or not, every time you lay your head down and go to sleep and believe that you're waking up in the morning, you're exercising some level of faith, right? Because it's way out of your control. So guys, just before you go, I want to share something with you here. This is John. Now, John went out and bought one of the Digital Outlook coffee cups and hats, and I've said it out there, hey, if you buy one of these cups and you take your picture and you say it's okay and you want me to put it on our coffee chats in the morning, I will be happy to do it. So John, congratulations on your cup and hat, and thank you for being such a great part of this community. I really do appreciate it, and I just hope you have an amazing, amazing day. Well, anyways, guys, I hope you have a great day. Now, remember, we have an amazing video coming out later on this evening at 7 o'clock, our interview with Reaper Financial. It is going to be phenomenal. Guys, there is stuff in this interview that has never been seen nor heard before. You are not going to want to miss it, and that is not an exaggeration. It is going to be amazing. So 7 p.m. Texas time. And until then, guys, I hope you have an amazing day and take care.